Hello, y'all. This is Prime 3285, and I just want to talk about Super Mario Brothers. Now, the very first Super Mario Brothers game came out in the arcade. It came out June 1st, 1983, and it was a great game. It was in the arcade, and that was actually the first Super Mario Brothers project that Nintendo did. It came out in the arcade, but they also had another version that went more further than that version, and it was for the NES console. So the very first Super Mario Brothers game for the console was Super Mario Brothers. It came out September 13th, 1985, and it was a phenomenon. A lot of people fell in love with this game, including myself. This was a great game. This was the game that put Mario on the map and made him a household name. This game was a great game. In this game, you could jump on stuff. Like this game, I think the story is about a plumber and his brother from a different world. And he gets, somehow he ended up in Mushroom Kingdom. And he had to save a princess from Bowser. This game was a great game. And I know they said it. I know one of the, I think one of the books of the game, if I could recall, they were saying that the blocks that you hit were actually people, but they got turned into blocks. So that's crazy. But this game was a great game. The story was really good. It was just a really, really fun game, and I just love the music. The music is so memorable. Plugging up the NES and putting a cartridge in and plugging up the controller for the NES, playing this game. It's just amazing. And Mario has so many items that he can get. Like, it was really cool when you hit the question mark block. You get different items. You get a mushroom. If you get hit, you'll shrink, but the mushroom will make you big. Also, they had the Power Star first featured in this game. They had the Fire Flower, which was really cool. That was one of my favorite items and abilities Mario has in this game, which was really cool. And in this game, you had the Goombas, you had the Koopa Troopers, you had Koopa Trooper Cave. And this was the first game to introduce that level, Koopa Trooper Cave. This was also the first game to introduce Bowser's Castle, and it had different worlds, which is so unique about this game. And this game became a phenomenon. It became so popular that it had its own live-action movie called Super Mario Brothers, and it also had the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. It had a cartoon series. That's how big this game was. This game was a big deal. This game was a phenomenon. It was huge. Everybody loved playing Super Mario Brothers. And I remember when you get the cartridge of Super Mario Brothers, it came with 2 games. You get Super Mario Brothers. You'll get the first game, Super Mario Brothers. And then you'll get Duck Hunt, which that was also a cool game too, in addition to Super Mario Brothers. And this game was really cool. You can go through pipes. You can go underground. And I just used to love getting to the end and jumping on a flagpole and them playing that music. And then the highest you get from the flagpole, you'll get a special ending of the level, which was really cool. Like, I used to love that music. That music that you play when you jump on the flagpole. That was just awesome. It's just so memorable to this day. And this inspired a lot of other games like Super Mario Maker, and this game opened the door for many Mario games down the line. This game made Mario a household name. And this game even had sequels. That's how big it was. That's how much a big deal it was. It had movies, it had cartoon series, This game was a phenomenon. And everybody fell in love with not just the Mario character and Luigi, but they also fell in love with this game, And this game was just a phenomenal game. I enjoyed playing it with my brother. Now I know when this game came out, like it came out in this game came out September 13th, 1985. This game came out when I was born, but I think I didn't play this game until like um somewhere in in the 90s, like when I was born, But yeah, this was the first game I played, definitely the first Super Mario game I played. I had a blast with it. And it just brings back memories. And I want to know from my subscribers, what was your favorite moments with this game? Did you love it? Was it your favorite Super Mario Brothers game? What was your favorite moments? And I'll make a shout out to my subscribers, and I just want to say God bless y'all. And I just was so excited to want to do a video about the Super Mario Brothers, games. And this game was so popular that it even had, it had like sequels. It even had fan-made games. This was a huge phenomenon. It had a lot of cool characters. And this came out for the first Famicom. Came out for the first NES system. And this was just the first chapter of the Super Mario Brothers franchise. It was huge. Now the second game, Super Mario Brothers 2, it came out October 9th, 1988. Super Mario Brothers 2. Now what's so unique about this game is you can play as more characters. Not only you get to play as Mario and Luigi, but you get to play as Toad, and you get to play as Princess Peach, which at that time back then she was known as, people was calling her Princess Toadstool. But what's so cool that you get to play as more characters in this game. And a lot of people fell in love with this game. But actually this game was actually a game made by fans that was big fans of the first Super Mario game. But this game was a huge sensation. It was different from the first game, a little different. Even the music is memorable to this day. And this is also one of my favorite ones, that I enjoyed, because they went more further with not just the levels, but also the fact that, the fact that you get to play as more characters, different characters, And this game was huge. And I think the story of this game is basically Mario is dreaming. Like everything that takes place in this game is basically a dream, and then you fight different bosses in this game. Like this game doesn't even have Bowser in it, because this game wasn't made by the original people that made Super Mario Brothers. It was made by fans of Super Mario. There was huge fans of the Super Mario game, the very first Super Mario game. And this was a great game, And I guess from the drawings, it was different. Like the characters look different. Like if you look at the different drawings, you notice in the Japanese version it's different. It's different characters look. This game was a huge sensation. But the actual Super Mario Brothers 2, this is not really the actual true Super Mario Brothers 2. There was actually another Super Mario Brothers 2 that came out in Japan, and when they brought it out here, it was for Super Mario Brothers All Star. It was called the Lost Levels. Now that's actually the real Super Mario Brothers 2, y'all. That came out in Japan. This one wasn't the real one, but it was the version we got from here, because this version was made by fans. Super Mario Brothers 2 that we remember was made by fans, but the real one came out in Japan, and that was made by Miyamoto. Like it was more like the very first Super Mario Brothers game. Yeah, but this game was a huge sensation. It was the second game in the Mario franchise. It was the second one. It was another game. It was just as popular. That's something how it was almost basically like two Super Mario Brothers 2. It was one that was made by fans, and then it was the actual one. Now the next game in the franchise, Super Mario Brothers 3, that came out October 23rd, 1988. And this game, they went more further with this game. This game is definitely one of my favorites out of the 3 games, out of the trilogy. In this game, Mario has more abilities. They introduce more items like the frog suit. They introduce the Tanuki Mario, like when you get the leaf, you get Mario can fly high, he can fly. You know, in this game, Mario can run, like they have like a meter. Mario can run really fast. What was also cool about this game is when Mario get the Power Star, he does this new ability when he flips. He's like, you know, this was the first game that Mario became really athletic. He was flipping when he get the Power Star. You know, it was like they remixed it and made the music more updated. You know, they went more further with the worlds. Like this game, you know, they just upped the scale. The worlds were more bigger. You know, you had more worlds. Like you had the grassland world. You had the first world. You know, you had the desert world. You know, the desert, the ice world. You know, and I think you had Giant Land. I think it was Giant World or something. But this game had a lot of new additions. It even had more bosses. Now, this was the first game that featured Bowser's children. You know, Wendy, Morden, Iggy. You know, featured Bowser's kids. You know, Roy. I think this was like the first game, if I can recall, there. Introduce Bowser's kids, you know, his children, you know, it wasn't just Bowser you had to worry about his kids, you know, like Wendy. You know, this was also the first game that had the skyship level, which was awesome, and it had that cool music. You know, this game is definitely one of my favorites, my all-time favorite Mario Brothers game, Super Mario Brothers game, Super Mario Brothers 3. It was it. Amazing game. It even had its own animated series. Like it was called the Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3. They even had a cartoon, you know, for this game. That's how much of a big deal it was, you know. And you had items like from the original games, like the mushroom, the fire flower, the power star. You know, you even had new things like in the game, like the Tanuki Mario and the frog suit. You know, this game was a huge sensation. You know, and the graphics, like they seem like they just improved the animation. You know, I felt like the graphics do look better, like they added more detail. And the music, they just went more further with the music. The music is so memorable, and the levels too. This game was a huge phenomenon. You know, and they just went more further with this game. With Mario and Luigi, the abilities they have, they can do, you know what I mean, was just awesome.